Hernan, he doesn't know.
I don't know. One more Tuesday.
Number 9.
Tuesday number 9. Oh, I already feel like it's a
That's why
Tuesday.
we're celebrating, because he's in black and red and I'm in red and black.
It's a 9-week, 9 Tuesday?
What's that movie? 9 and a half women? or something?
No, week.
9 and a half
9
weeks.
semanas y media.
9 semanas y media.
Yeah, we have more week and we are on the movie. Now one more week, 9 weeks. For me, it's already feel like it's a 9 month. But
Are you pregnant?
I almost there. My belly getting bigger and bigger. The week is passing by. I mean, 9 weeks, I feel like a 9 months. All right, I hope guys you're doing good. Here we go, one more Tuesday. We show the base,
It starts with the baldosa.
of course. 1, 2, 3, base to the cross. Just in this moment, we're gonna go cross and cross system in a circular action. That's the idea of the step. We show it one more time, simple basic,
And then you have it.
then you have it, you watch it many times, and we do a short video. As you observe, we have all crosses today. Crosses forward, crosses backward, all for her, and one extra cross for me as a leader. Let's start with...
Let's review basic to the cross in a cross system, and then we just add one cross for the follower to that base, but something is gonna change for the leader because the system is gonna change. But let's start with the basic of the basic.
Okay, let's go first as a base to the cross and the differences. First we start base to the cross system, and I am not changing my way, just maintaining the line to she cross again. Yeah, let's do that again. So by changing her way, I changing the system. First, I change my way to change the system in cross. I bring her into the cross, and I am not changing my way. And I continue going in line to she cross again. I change my way, forward, side, finish. This is going to be one of the exercises. Later on, we have to start to curving this movement. So we have it 1, 2, turn way. Base to the cross. Cross again. Forward, side, finish. On the leader's upper body, and the moment that we take a 1, 2, position 2 to change the way to go to the 3 on the base to the cross and cross system, I maintain this position all the time, as we know. So we make the cross, and usually we change our way and we change the position of our body to have a resolution. In this moment, we won't do that. We have a 1, 2, torsion, chain way. I approach forward to have a 3, 4, she cross. When I sit down cross to go walk backward, I maintain my position to she cross again. Yeah, then I'm gonna change my way, forward, side, finish. Entonces we do two crosses. Cross in cross system and cross in parallel system, one cross after the other. We're gonna attempt to use two double times and a roll in that moment. Let's look at it again as an exercise and see how we put it together. Entonces we have it. 1, 2, chain way. Back to the cross. I keep my upper body in the same position to go into the next cross. Now I release, forward, side, finish. Let's show what happens if I take my position earlier, the normal base. 1, 2, 3. If I do the normal base to the cross and I put my body straight and I walk, she won't cross again. Because the main idea of what we are looking for in here is to she has two crosses in a row. She crossed, I maintain the position of my upper body in the same angle for her, and we going again for another cross. Now I can change my way, forward, side, finish.
Let's assume that this base is pretty obvious, right? Like most of you are at the level that you understand what's happening here. Just a quick reminder about the system. So the leader changes the system for the first time. He does a double time, and that changes the system to the cross. Then the follower does the first cross, so now we're in parallel system, and then the cross repeats, we back to the cross system, and then he exits by changing his weight again. So equal work opportunity this time. I changed twice, he changed twice. And this way we are, at this moment we are exiting in parallel system. So we are assuming you have this, you can practice this in line many times, but the real difficulty is coming now, when we have to take the same exact base and curve it. So let us show you how this happens and how you can exercise that.
Let's curve the movement. So you have it. 1, 2. When I do my chain way, I don't do in place. I do by pivoting her and shifting my way around her. Like if I'm going to start a turn to the left. From here, I'm going to start to take it that base to the cross. Let's do once again. 1, 2. When I shift my way, I shifted around of her. Now, I'm going to the same position of my upper body. I bring her to the cross. And I keep my body with the same position. If I open my upper body, she's going to change her angle. I need to maintain her in the same position until I could get again in front of her and change my way. Let's take this for a different angle. 1, 2. So when I'm going to do my shift of my way, I'm going around her. So now I continue walking in that curving line, but very straight. And I am not changing my upper body. Si you observe, we start in this direction, and we end then on the same direction again. That means we make a very small loop around to coming back in the same position. So the trick in here is to maintain as a leader my position on my chest. So I walking around in circle in this position. Meaning I walking facing outside. For example, if I walk around this pole on my base, I have a 1, 2, 3. So now I walk around that pole with this position. Entonces, on the count of the base, I mean we started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when I count and use the number, we have a 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I am not changing my chas to this direction. I go all the way around. 3, 4, she crossed 5, 6, she crossed 7. I change my way in front, forward, side, finish. So it is very important that you maintain the chas. If I change the position of my chas, the whole game is going to change. 1, 2, change my way. Maintain my chas, maintain my chas, and maintain my chas, feet together, forward, side, finish. We're going to insist a lot to maintain that position of the chas because there's not any force with my arm. Her leg cross because once the legs go outside the line because of the inertia of the movement, and that leg is the inside leg try to go out, and the other one fall inside into the cross. So say very much anytime the follower is walking backward in here, she has the situation that leg is go there because I go in here, the leg cross, and that leg is go outside the circle, the one's coming inside the circle. And I can continue doing this all night long, and she's going to cross all the time because one leg is outside the circle, the other one is inside the circle. So that's very important for us as a leader to maintain this position, to our follower can maintain the same position, both in the same point.
And notice that, I go here. Notice that when we are doing it around this pole, the circle is actually bigger. So you see we're starting here and we only manage to do 180, so we're finishing with the back. But when this goes away, the circle becomes even smaller, even tighter, and therefore we are able to achieve 360 with the full turn. So ideally, in our combination, ideally you're doing 360.
And as you observe in this circle, because it's a bigger place, she's occupied the outside of the circle and the leader occupied the inside of the circle. So that's very important for you. Of course we can do this in the other direction, but we have different results. So try to imagine, as Anita mentioned before, that circle. So she's going away of the circle, she's going the part of the outside. But when we're coming back, by shifting my way in the last moment, we complete and got into the end of the 360 of the movement. Let's take a practice this movement. As we're practicing, try to remember the sensation of the base to the cross. What does that mean? Anytime I do the base to the cross, on the step number 4 of the base to the cross, specifically for her, I need to leave that step a little bit longer. If I leave the step too short, too shallow, she will walk just in the same circularity that I walk. If we do the torsion, we go here, and I go just with this, and she go very shallow, and I go very shallow with my lead, she will not cross. But when I emphasize the length of that leg is go out of the circle. So that leg escapes because it's long step. But if I go just, okay, I go in circle, but I don't give anything to her. It's very shallow movement. Now you have to have this emphasis of walking longer, even if it's in circle. If that emphasis of that little wave is not exist during the walk or during the positions 4, we repeat them many times, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5 many times. If we don't have the consistency in the emphasis of longness on the step, the crossing won't happen. Could happen, but the follower doing just by herself. So for example, I could just go and be very shallow, and because my follower is in the same lesson that I am, she's just crossing. Okay, cool. I'm fantastic. She crossed. That's not the idea. We finished with the job. No, that's not the idea. The idea is we communicate with each other to what happened. So let's practice this for a few times and Then we continue adding forward. Let's add one sacada now. Since we already have this base, let's add one sacada. Let's do first in line, and then we start to curving. 1, 2, 3. We know this base already. Again. 1, 2, I change my way. Base to the cross for her. 1, second cross. Now, when we do the resolution of the second cross, I walk in. That's the displacement, and then I change the rotation of my body. Similar situation that we were working last week. When we did the back sacada, we did a side step after the back sacada. That side step was very around. The same happening here. When we do the sacada after the second cross, she has first cross, second cross. So I will not try to bring her to the side step. I'm going to try to let her go and line back. And I'm going to move my foot in that space. That will shift our position. We show you for different angles.
So one trick with the sacada, kind of important to remember, is that the sacada to the open step, to the side step, yeah, it turns you, it kind of encourages or forces the pivot backwards. And because it forces the pivot backwards, my next step is gonna be backwards. And in this case, because he invades my space, yes, he's taking the space that I had before, in this case we are getting a 90-degree turn that changes our direction, as you saw in those demonstrations.
Let's curve the steps. Let's do the same action that we did before. Now that we know the movement in line, let's make it a curve. Same idea around the pole, facing over in the same direction, and on the moment of the cross is when we change our position the other side of her, and we change a little bit of our torsion. But because we change everything, we go back again to the same place. Let's observe that. So we have 1, 2. We change the way around to curve. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Now it's coming displacement. So I open my torsion, and by the continuity of that, I end in the same place. I didn't do as we did before, this direction over here. I maintain my position on this side. I mean, I continue facing again in the same direction. From here we go with a nice base to the cross that we didn't practice in here.
So we're gonna practice this now a couple of times around the curve. We're not gonna practice separately basic to the cross in cross system again, because you just practice it a million times with 2, 3, 5, 17 crosses. So you know very well how to change it from one system to the other. So right now the exit happens in a cross system. Because of my cross, the system changes back to the parallel system, and we are able to step sideways together in the same direction. Of course, Hernan is doing some adornment and pique and whatever else. Just steal the adornment from him, unless he wants to share.
We're going to talk about a little bit on that. The important part right now is to be going to the salida. When we do the salida, we can start to practice it the same again, because it's the same two of the normal baldosa we did in the beginning. Means, so you practice and you have it. 1, 2, you pivoting around. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, displacement. Base to the cross. 4, 5, so you go to the side. So now you can change the way again and go again. So practice it many times. So what's going on here? I do one pique. I do pique, one, because an adornment. Second, it could help you to hold, to hint the movement a little bit. So while you take the base to the cross, and the last one, the resolution part, she's crossing, and that pique, see my body is going, but my leg is still behind. So that gives me different effect. And also that help you to lead her so she doesn't go to normal resolution for the base to the cross. The typical happen on the follower when we are in the monotony, like everybody. When we have a monotony of movement, we're going to that. So when she's going to the cross, she's going to tend to go back inside to finish normally. So by you hint the leg in that direction, she feels the unwinding. That way, she's going to take the side step with you. Así que basar the bit in adornment is a trick to help us to communicate better to her our indecision. Let's try.
And ladies, we also have the opportunity to do something beautiful there, because there is a little lapis that turns into sort of a planeo because of that sacada. So displaced leg does not have to go back to the collection point. You can let it go around, and then because he is moving and the axis is changing, then we kind of transferring the lapis into the planeo. It's a very small, but just keep that leg out to make it look beautiful.
Let's pay attention to those embellishments that you can do. So first, we do the base, we go to the follower embellishment, and then to our side. So we turn it. 4, 5, 4, 5. This is the moment when Anita's talking to you about that embellish. Now, in this momentum, when I go into my base to the cross, by me changing this pique here, it gives to our body a different sensation. And that gives to us, and again, a beautiful, nice salida. I mean, we start the movement again. 1, 2, we change. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, display, adornment for her, base to the cross again, pique for us, side step. Then from here you can do a resolution for a second. Or, as we showed before, because you are already in the side step, you can repeat the actions many times till you get used to and make this movement be naturally.
Okay, let's analyze the next part. So we stepped together for 1 second. For one step in a parallel system, we stepped sideways, and then
I'm gonna change my way again to go to cross system again to introduce to a new part. Because now we're gonna do some crosses again for her, just backward, coming from the back, yeah, to the front, because we're going to walk forward. So I will propose right now that we do that cross and a cross system. In the last part, we're going to change, or we're going to cross with her, yeah, in the second cross, to go and match with her in parallel system that we can exit in a normal resolution. Let's observe that part. Then we have, in the last part we have, base to the cross for her, and I cross it, she change to parallel, I do the pique, side step, and I change my way. To now I can introduce to her a cross. By doing this, she's coming in parallel. If she cross again alone, she's going to be in cross, but I cross with her, so I can be in parallel with her. So now we have nice resolution on a parallel system. Let's do again. 1, 2, we change way. Normally for base to the cross and cross system. She crossing, pique, side, change way, walk, one cross for her. On the second cross I cross with her. And unwinding and I going on parallel system to resolution. Why I change my way again? Can we do the cross in parallel? Yes, but by doing in cross system, I'm going to make it much easier, since you already practiced this position many times already. Yeah, it's going to be easy for you to lead much easier the back cross of her. Of course, we could get here and do this, but it has different sensation. By leading this in a parallel system, it has different sensation on the movement. So the proposal by now is to you do this in cross system. Tack, tack, cross, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. If I do the cross just from here, let's practice it just the cross. I walk in cross system and I lead her to the back cross. 1, 2, and the third step of her second cross, I cross with her. We unwinding and we taking normal resolution of the baldosa. Again, show you for this angle.
Let's talk a little bit what makes me cross behind, whereas he's doing nothing. So
I'm
what
doing
really,
nothing all the time.
So what really happens there? Like, it feels a little bit like, you know, he is challenging me, or he's encouraging me to walk with my leg, but then at the last second it feels like he changed his mind, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm all good. And I cross.
Yeah, let's point to that detail. So what's going on here? We're talking a lot and many times about pendulos, right? In this moment of my body, by being a cross system with this position, and by she be on the opposite cross, the loop of my body creates a small loop to bring the leg into the cross. Meaning, by being me in a cross system, and the open position, she's in a cross position toward me. When I open the upper body more in the direction her leg navigate as a small loop, and I make it my transition, my walk going backward. Then I have it 3 steps of her and 1 step of mine, very much. So I have 1, 2, same way. So I have it 1 step of me, 1 of her. I start shifting the weight backward to my right leg, gradually. I could unwind that and go again if it's needed. I need to create all my chest the direction of loop the leg loop the leg. We were talking a few weeks ago about that. And now I crossing or change my way. So during few steps of the hair, I very much shifted my way between left and right. Left forward, she's in a cross, I am in an open position. I loop the body, propose her the cross, and now I continue inviting her to walk forward. Again, so I have to create a pendulum on her. Yeah, a pendulum on her leg. Pendulum on her leg. Any of those crosses, forward crosses or back crosses, it's about an offline of the body. Because I had to create an offlining of the axis for her to her leg can fall in that place. I am not trying to force the leg to cross. The same happens when we do a forward cross. The offlining of the body proposes her crossing. And this momentum, by should be in a back cross, that means her back cross has this shape. When I go into this base, her back cross, it has this shape. Yeah, you see, into this side of the pole. It's coming from here to here. That's her back cross. My open movement is going from here to that direction. Those movements collide in here. By this colliding here, hit the free leg who's coming from inside and create the bounce or the pendulum to coming up inside. Meaning, and the moment that she's walking backwards, she's in that direction. Her sensation of her body is in that direction. By me working in the other direction, this leg with the energy of my body collide and coming back in. So very much working in two forces. My force of my body is going this direction and hers is going here. That creates the leg to elevate the movement. So very much, if we have it, 1, 2, her base is coming in this direction and mine is going in that direction. That creates a cross to here. And then so on, and so on, crossing if we need to do more. But you have to really have to create that curve in our bodies. Her cross, my opening. My executing, if, now it's coming one more point. If I do not also stop her body, because that's the other result for this, if I just change my torsion, she's going to pivot in. You see, I cannot change my torsion. I cannot do this change it completely to she can pivot in. I just create an angle that is going in that direction and in that direction to her. So her body is going here and here. Before forward, is going back, side, and front. It's going back, side, and front. That creates a curve. It's not just back and forward, because it's going to collapse. The movement is going in that direction, and to the direction at front. So we need to respect this format. That creates that pendulum. Anytime you have those two vectors, one linear and one perpendicular to that, that creates a curve. So this plus this create a curve. And the next one is in this direction. So we have one line in here, this direction, plus this direction, plus this direction. So we have a 1, 2, 3 different lines that create this cross. So it's going here, here, and here back. I cannot just go in there back and forward, because it will not happen the cross. We need to have that sensation that we are going in that direction to create that curve to the movements coming back to the cross. and not a pivoting. But that will be one of the mistakes that could happen. If you go there and you're doing this, because she's pivoting. She has a cross, back cross, but an open back cross. And what we are looking by now is to she has a closed back cross. Close a movement and not an open back cross.
In a sense, it's the same thing. It's just when is the pivoting happen, yeah? Because as Hernan just showed, it's the same leg. I'm doing a back cross, or I am doing the back cross, but my body never pivoted.
Yeah.
Right?
So at that moment you can see her back. This cross, the back cross, is closed. Meaning she closed in here and not an open movement. And that's very much the references that we have on the movement. Meaning when she's pivoting. If she's pivoting, you're going to have a normal back cross. Okay, some people are going to say back ocho. Yes, you can build the back ocho through that. But in this case, we want to have just two back cross with the same leg in the same direction and a roll and a line. Now we come with the second cross. So we have it. Since we're experiencing this part, that's the cross. And the second one, I need to maintain my body in the same position. So what's going on here? When I see finish the first cross, and I'm going to propose her to walk, I will not take my upper body or my torsion off. So now she's going to walk in that direction. Yeah, or very much she can walk also in a line here, and she cannot cross no more. That leg, it has to come in to me, very much to my chest. That way, she can make it the second cross. So we're going again. I lead and I successfully the first cross. If by the second cross I take my body away, she's never going to cross, because she cannot cross. She will do a forward cross. It's a different thing that we are looking for. 1, 2, same way. I lead the first one, and now when I walk in, I bring in her hip or her body, her leg, toward me. So there she can cross and have her success for the second cross. Again. For the cross, when she's going to take the next step, I'm going to extend my foot a little bit so she can walk longer with me there. She cross, and then we have a resolution again. 1, 2, shift way. Lead her into that. With success with that. Now, do you see my foot? My right foot now is going to take a little bit distance with her. So I create space for my own cross. And for my own spacing, so we can have it in a nice and a clean resolution.
So the next $100 question to Hernan, if he's willing to give that secret away, is how he tells me how many crosses during this one step. Because right now it's one cross to initiate and another one for him to take a step and shift the weight. But sometimes he does more than one. So how do we know?
It's easy answer. You have the answer with you. All the time we're talking about the three elements that I use for me, and I use it for a very long time. Same height, same distance, same front. It's the same part. I mean, what does that mean? Doesn't mean we have to be perfect couple and we have too much. No, that's happened just in the movie. Casting both the same level. No, the same height is the height that she has. My height, the height that I have. But if I go low, she's going low. If I go high, she's going high. That's just the only first thing that you need to remember. What happens if she's going low? Correct. You have the answer. You don't have the answer. That's incorrect. What happens if you're going low? She has a long step. Yeah, long step. What happens if we're going high? Yes, she has a short step. That's correct. That means, let's observe the movement. We lead into the cross. So on the level of our body, determine where she's going to walk and what she's going to do. In that case, we have a very long step. At the same time, we could have small steps. So that gives me to me the determination, the size of the step. or how many I'm going to do. So by me mixing them, put me to make a high movement for her, but a longer step for me. So that mix give me the possibility to give to her more steps. Because in this long link of my legs, I can just continue going, and then I change my weight in the last moment. In short word, when I did the movement, I lead her to the back cross. So I keep the elevation and bite her forward, and I continue my way very much splitting, and now I walk. That means she has a chance to do 3 crosses, 4 crosses. Again, it's a lot of work. Maintain the torsion, maintain the height, and make her navigate toward you. And then you transfer the weight. So I slow down my movement a lot so she can have more crosses in between. We could do what we're doing today, okay, use a normal high. Because you see my body is very low, my energy is not high, my energy is low to maintain the same. I could go lower than that, right? So making 1 cross for her, and I can really tell her, we're gonna do just 1 walk long. Depending on this high is what making the differences between a long step, short steps, multi-crosses, more than 2 or more than 3, or just 1 long, or depend what you want to do. Now, to do that is practicing and require experience. Just dancing, practicing. But that's the answer there, the $100 question.
Oh, that was actually 1 million.
Yeah, that was more than 100, is what I'm going to think.
That was $1 million question. Okay, so now we have all the elements for today, and let's just put it together so you can practice the whole combination.
Entonces, voleo, no.
no vale ni la pena.